2010, Citroen launched the DS3, which was Citroen's vision of a premium super mini that could compete with the likes of the Fiat 500 and the Mini. With sharp looks, sporty handling and lots of options for personalisation, the DS3 is a car for people who want a little bit of extra zest with their super mini. What I have here is the DS3 by Benefit, and it's a special edition that's been produced in collaboration with Benefit Cosmetics. They're famous for their fun packaging and quirky makeup products, so it looks like a perfect match for the DS3, which is quirky and fun too. The ruby red metallic and white roof combination on this car has been inspired by Bennett Tint, which is Benefit's cheek and lip stain. This special edition also gets Benefit's Gabby's Head logo on the B pillar. It's also got these beautiful white 17-inch alloy wheels. And at the front, the grille is surrounded with a strip of chrome, and the fog lamp surrounds are also chrome. At the back, there is a sporty exhaust tailpipe and a small Benefit Cosmetics plaque. Inside, there's a good bit of space up front in the DS3. I've got plenty of headroom here, and there's lots of adjustment in the steering wheel and in the seat. There's some nice touches in here, like the sunken dials, gloss black around the door handles, and also this aluminium effect inlay in the steering wheel. Unique to the Benefit model is this glossy white dashboard insert, and it's got the Gabby's Head logo. You also get this white gear knob, so it's quite playful touch really. But overall the feeling is quite modern and sophisticated. There's little storage places dotted throughout, so I would say that the door pockets are a little bit small, but I do like these storage spaces in the centre console. The glove box again is a little bit small, but we'll forgive a car that looks this good. In the back it's a little bit more cramped, as I'll show you here. Now I think it's time to go for a drive. The DS3 feels light and agile on the road. Steering is light but precise. Now this car comes with a sport suspension, so you do feel quite a lot of the bumps and ruts in the road over a poorly surfaced road, but it handles really well, and that same sports suspension means it's very taut and there's good body control. It's a lot of fun to drive. Now the Fiat 500 is probably not as good to drive as this. I mean, it bounces around on the road quite a bit more and it feels a little jittery. I do think the Mini has a slight edge over this car in that it's more glued in the corners and it feels, I suppose, a little more planted on the road, and you can push it a bit harder, but this is still very good. And of course you have to like retro if you go for the Mini. Now the 1.2 litre engine in this car is perfectly adequate for a small car like this. You won't be winning any straight line sprints. I mean, it takes 14.2 seconds to get to 100 kilometers per hour, but it doesn't feel underpowered in pretty much all driving situations. The Citroen DS3 copes equally well on the motorway. It feels well planted on the road, and there's not too much road and wind noise coming into the cabin. This model is fitted with a 1.2 litre petrol engine producing 82 brake horsepower. And the revs don't run too high on the motorway. It doesn't feel like it's going to keel over like some of these small petrols do when you take them out onto the motorway. The light steering, compact dimensions and small eager revving petrol engine make the DS3 really nice and enjoyable to drive around town. You do sit quite far back in here, so it takes a little bit of a while to get used to that when you're parking. And this A-pillar is slightly obstructive, I think, when you're turning right, but they're small gripes really. I've one final thing to show you, and that's the boot. It's bigger than what you'll find in rivals like the Fiat 500, the Mini, and even the Ford Fiesta. And it will happily carry anything you might need for a weekend away. The Citroen DS3 by Benefit delivers as a stylish, sporty Super Mini that you'll really want to drive. It might look a little bit expensive at just over €20,000 for a Super Mini, but you have to factor in the extras that have been added to this model and the cool paintwork, the two-tone roof, and that extra Benefit branding. So it is an exclusive model, and it is a cheap car to run, and it's just gorgeous.